while the big veiny ones may get all the attention, I'm told that the smaller ones can be just as effective too. So join me with a tasty beverage of your choice close to hand while we take a look at 11 little leafed Hoyas. And before we get underway, a special thanks goes out to my friends Leslie and to Amber and Beata. Leslie bought me coffees, and Amber and Beata sent super thanks this week. And as I always say, your contributions, your support for the channel make a lot of things possible, some of it behind the scenes, but it's all greatly appreciated. And we've got a couple more bloomers this week. The first one up is Hoya breviolata, and I hope you're paying attention, Mona. But it's got just some very nice little blooms that have just started to open up. So yeah, they're kind of an ivory colored corolla with shades of ruby on the coronas, and I can't really notice any scent right now, but this is what it'll look like when it gets bigger. And also blooming this week, let me put that down carefully, is my Hoya fuwaensis. Now, Hoya fuwaensis is similar to caudata and others of that ilk, and it has just started blooming this past week. And they are very pretty. They hang from very long peduncles. That's probably, well, I don't have to probably. I can tell you the peduncles are about 2 3/4 inches or about 7 centimeters long. And this is loaded, just loaded with peduncles all the way up to the top. The leaves are really pretty. Let's get some good leaves for you. Have kind of that whole caudata vibe. But yeah, this has been a good one for me. I enjoy this plant. So yeah, this is Hoya fuwaensis. And we're going to carry on as long as we can. There are big thunderstorms just over there, so it may get a little exciting here in just a few minutes. But the first Hoya up is Hoya wenshanensis. Now, Hoya wenshanensis is native to Yunnan, China, the Wenshan Autonomous Prefecture, and it was first published in 2002. And it was formerly known as Species Affinity Serpens Shaoji 001. And this has been just a pretty little plant. Very, very nice. It's been very easy to grow. It's happy now. It's put out new growth everywhere and new peduncles. And I have pictures of the blooms, which you'll see over here someplace. As long as you keep that moisture level where it likes it, you'll be fine. It does kind of act like a serpens, so it doesn't like to dry out at all. And yeah, as long as you keep that all under control, you'll be great. The thing to keep an eye on with this plant is while the leaves are very fuzzy on both sides and a little thick, surprisingly thick, the petioles are not very strong, and it is very easy to bump leaves from the vines, which is not something you want to do on a plant that's this intriguing and that interesting. So yeah, this one's been here since 2002, and it came from Plants by Lynn on Etsy, and this is Hoya wenshanensis. things just started, so we'll carry on. The next one up is Hoya boisei. Now, Hoya boisei is native to Brunei, the Balate district, Bukit Batu Panam, and was found at a height of 70 meters. It was collected in 1989 and published in 2022 in Gardens Bulletin by Michaela Rhoda and Sri Rahayu. And it was named after the British botanist Peter Boyce, who I think was part of the collection team. And I got this as a tiny cutting, and I've been trying to nurture it along very, very carefully. You probably can't see it. Well, maybe you can. We'll give it a shot. It's always worth a shot. There's a new growth point in the center. I don't think I have any discernible roots yet. But where there's green, there's hope. So we're going to see what happens with this. I'm glad that it survived this long. It was a tiny little cutting when it arrived. So yeah, fingers crossed for growth on this one. This came from Planting with Wine on Etsy, and it's been here since last year, and this is Hoya boisei. And we're going to give a real test to this noise-canceling microphone and see if you can hear me after all this. But next up is Hoya vaccinioides. Now, vaccinioides is native to the East Himalayas, to Laos and Vietnam. It was first published in 1883 in the Flora of British India by Joseph Dalton Hooker. And this is, I think this, see if I can get a good, is just a very pretty little leaf. They're lanceate. There's a recessed vein running down the center. And this little thing has done very well for not being here, but maybe 6 to 9 months. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with this. It's put out new vines from the base. We're all very happy with this, and I think it's just very pretty. The leaves look smooth, but I have a feeling there's some slight pubescence, and I'll put close-ups over on the side here so we can see whether that's true or not. This is done really well. I think it's going to be, I've got it on an optimistic trellis, which you may or may not be able to see it against this storm in the background. But I think it's going to look really pretty if it starts filling this, and I'm looking forward to that. This one came from TQ Hoyas on Etsy, and this is Hoya vaccinioides. Now I'm going to carry on with this because we're doing Hoya carrii, NS13064. Now Hoya carrii is native to Papua New Guinea, the Oro province, near Isurava. And it was first collected in 1935, 1936 by C.E. Carr, and it was named after him. It was first published in 2017 in Gardens Bulletin by Parl Irwin Forrest and David J. Little, but was republished officially by Danielle Simonson and Michaela Rhoda in 2017. And this is based upon a sample that Danielle found. And I think those leaves are just beautiful. I wanted one of these the first time I saw the leaves. They're very, very pretty. Kind of a dark olive drab with a recessed central rib and some slightly recessed veining. This one grew like weed. I mean, it got away from me and scurried right up to the top. So we're working with what we've got up here. Again, it's very, very pretty, very nice, and it's doing rather well. The first one of these I got from a different seller. It did not make the transition from whatever it was in to what I wanted to grow it in successfully. So I tried again because I really wanted it. And yeah, I'm going to put some close-ups of these leaves over here because I think they're really, really beautiful. Just really, really nice. It hasn't bloomed for me yet. It's only been here a year, if that. But I'm happy with how well it's doing and how well up the trellis it's gone. So yeah, a good choice. I like this one. This one came from Hoya Treasures at their website. And this is Hoya carrii NS13064. And our next little leafed Hoya is Hoya species Papua IM08. Now, the IM stands for Imran La, and he was a collector in Indonesia. So this one is very, very neat. And with an identification of species Papua, it comes from the island of New Guinea, from Papua and Papua Hoya, and it's fairly endemic there. It hasn't bloomed for me, but it has started scurrying up the trellis, so I'm gonna have to address that. But it's looking pretty good, you know? It's branched and it's growing actively. I mean, there's a little tiny vine making its way up there. I first saw this on Doug Chamberlain's site, and he raved about it, said it was the equivalent of Hoya of the Year, that it did so well for him. And mine has started to do pretty well for me. It's settled in. I think I'm going to move it slightly. It's right now in the light fallout from one of my grow shelves, but I think I'm going to move it more into that light. The leaves are fairly dark, but I think it could use just a little bit more, just a little touch. It's got recessed central rib and very pretty raised veins, and I'll put some close-ups over here because they actually are very pretty. And according to Doug, this is supposed to be a really good bloomer when it gets going. So, yeah, as you can tell, a few months ago, I went on a small-leafed Hoya kick and, collect the set. So this is Hoya species Papua IM08, and it came from Hoya Treasures website. And the next kid up is Hoya chinghungensis. Now, Hoya chinghungensis is native to south central China to Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam. It was originally published as a Discidia in 1974 in Acta Phytotaxonomica Sinaica by Ying Xiang and Pingdao Li, but was republished as a Hoya in 1995 in Novon, a journal for the botanical nomenclature, and it was published by Michael George Gilbert, Pingdao Li, and Warren Douglas Stevens. And this has become one of my favorite Hoyas. The leaves are just very, very cool. They are pubescent, and right now this one is just starting to bloom. The blooms are very pretty. They're somewhat reminiscent of Hoya bella, and this plant is loaded with them. There are peduncles everywhere. Just looking at it, I see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's at least 25 peduncles on this poor little guy who's doing really, really well. Love this plant. And it's very easy care. It's under fairly good light. The leaves are not dark. They are kind of a lighter green. It's thirsty though. It's very nice about it though. If you let the reservoir or the plant dry out, it will just stop and wait patiently until you get your act together and give it a drink again. And then it's like right on as if nothing happened. So it's good like that. It doesn't hold a grudge. Because trust me, the reservoir has gone dry on this from time to time. So this is a good one. This is another one, however, that these leaves catch on everything. I mean, everything. And it's real easy to snap them off. So just be a little bit careful with it. But other than that, I mean, the plant branches readily. As you can see, perhaps in there. There's a branch here, branch here. There's another one down front. And where did I see one more? Oh, there's another one starting in there. And I think when you just look at the leaves, that's really kind of pretty. It's a grower. This one took off as soon as it got here, and I got it into self-watering, which may be a really good idea for this plant since it is so thirsty. But other than that, it's no trouble, no trauma, no drama. It was going to take a little bit of room, as you can see. This one long, so I can do this without hurting anybody. The one long branch there, from the pot to the end is 31 inches or 79 centimeters. So if you're going to give it a try, be prepared for that. But definitely, it's so cool. It's so cool. The blooms, the only word that comes to mind is clean. It's got a really neat, clean scent. But again, this is the late afternoon, and maybe like fresh cut hay. It's not fresh cut grass, but it may be like fresh cut hay. This is just really cool. It's so much fun. It's so pretty, such a handsome plant. It blooms readily. Yeah, this is definitely worth keeping your eye out for. This is Hoya chinghungensis, and this came from Rare Herbs Garden NJ on Etsy. And from that little leaf monster, we move on to Hoya pyrifolia. Now, pyrifolia is native to Yunnan, China, to Yingjiang, along the Mulong River, and not Mulan, Mulong River. And it was collected at a height of 1,865 meters in 2019, and it was first published in 2021 in Phyto Keys by Feng Wang. And it was named pyrifolia after the pyriform shape of the leaves. And of course, I thought it was something to do with fire, but no, it's pyriform means pear-shaped. And yeah, when you look at the close-ups, which I'm going to put over here, you will see that the leaves do have kind of a pear shape, as do I. So that's really, we have something in common, this little guy and I. This is doing really well. I got it as a small cutting, and it has put out that new branch. And I think I'm going to move this one toward the light a little bit more. It's in the edges of the fallout, but I think it could use just a tad more light to make it happy. And that's what my life is all about, making plants happy. So yeah, this has been really cool. This one's been here for less than a year, and it came from Planting with Wine on Etsy. And this is Hoya pyrifolia. Now we move on to Hoya mamasa. Now, Hoya mamasa was found in Sulawesi, in West Sulawesi, in Indonesia, near the town of Mamasa. And it was first collected in 2020 and published in 2022 in Gardens Bulletin by Sri Rahayu, Roland Putra Pribadi Ahmad, and Michaela Rhoda. And I have a picture of what it looked like when it first arrived. I'll put over here. And it looked like that for a really long time. And then it put out this gorgeous little vine. And the leaves are kind of cool. They're kind of handsome, nice looking, sort of, could one say pyrifolic? They look like they're slightly pubescent. I waited so long for this vine to do something and to spring into action that I don't want to mess with it too much, but it looks like they could be slightly pubescent on the top and the back, and those close-ups that I'm going to put over here will help us determine that. Yeah, it's, little leafed Hoyas are not big and showy necessarily, but they can be really, really pretty. So I'm going to send this one up and see if we can get it to be happier and get on with its job. So yeah, this one's very cool. This one I've had for less than a year, and this is Hoya mamasa, and it came from TQ Hoyas on Etsy. And the next guy up is Hoya Puliana, IM02. Now the IM again stands for Imran La, a collector from Indonesia, who found this particular clone. But the plant was originally collected in 1913 in Western New Guinea, the Papua province along the Lawrence River, and it was collected by August Adrian Pulla. And it was first published in 2022 in Blumea, Zeitschrift für die Systematik und Geographie der Planten, a journal of plant taxonomy and plant geography by Michaela Rhoda and Nathaniel Simonson, who named it after the person who collected it, August Adrian Plula. And this little guy is it's just a little leafed Hoya. And you're thinking, it looks just like all the others. No, it doesn't. Don't be one of those kind of people. Each one has its own special character and qualities. And while the other ones may have had a strongly recessed central rib, the leaves on this do not. They are slightly pubescent, although they do have raised veins. And it's more visible on the newer leaves. And this one has done very well. It found something it wanted to climb and scurried up that trellis as quickly as it could. So we're going to encourage it in a slightly different direction. But yes, it's done really well. The little leafed Hoyas are fun. They present different challenges and give you different results, of course. They're a little bit more delicate when they first start to settle in. So when I move them from their, I usually root them in pond. So when I up-pot them, I don't depend solely on the wicks to provide moisture and nourishment for the plant. I will top water. At first, I will top water every couple of days, just a tiny little bit, for maybe the first month, until those roots have had a chance to establish a bit. And then every time I fill up the reservoir, I'll top water so that there's always some moisture available for the roots that are, only taken up this much. I mean, the roots aren't going any deeper than that at first. They haven't found the wick or gotten the system going yet. So, yeah, this is really cool. I'm looking forward to this one becoming a full and lush trellised plant. It's in one of my optimistic trellises. So because it's tiny, I'm hoping it will not fill the trellis next week. It's like, okay, take your time, grow. We're all here. I'm here all week. So let's see what we can do about this to make it happen. This one's been here less than a year. And this Hoya Poliana IMO2 came from Plant Haven, Toronto. This little leafed Hoya, on the other hand, Hoya Obcordata, didn't waste any time getting busy growing. Now, Hoya Obcordata is native to the East Himalayas. It was first published in 1883 in the Flora of British India by the channel's patron saint, Joseph Dalton Hooker. And this one has only been here a year. And it has, granted, it's not an optimistic trellis. It's only that tall, which is, paid money for this measuring tape. I'm going to use it. It's only a 13-inch or 33-centimeter trellis. But it had wasted no time in getting to the top of that and just growing up a storm. It put out peduncles fairly early, and there's one hanging out there. And I think I have pictures of blooms that I'll drop in over here for you, and some close-ups of the leaves. They're very pretty. They are heart-shaped and have raised veins, a raised central rib, and they are pubescent. So what's not to like on leaves like that? They are very cool. This one grew really, really, this kind of growth from a little leafed Hoya in less than a year. Yeah, it settled right in, no issues. You'll see some sulfur on it because there were flat mites on that shelf, and I wasn't taking any chances with this guy. This is a fun plant. It's grown quite well. What was going on there? Oh, it's clearly found the roots and is happy about that. I guess there's some loose pond in the bottom of that reservoir. Yeah, this is just really cool. I like this. I like this. This is currently growing pretty close. It's gotten close to the grow light. It could probably handle slightly less light. It's a 20-watt grow strip right up there. But it doesn't seem to mind it. The leaves don't look bleached out. Oh yeah, it's pubescent. The leaves are pubescent. But they don't look bleached out. They look fairly happy. And yeah, with the way this has grown, I've got no complaints with this whatsoever. This is a really cool plant. This is Hoya Obcordata, and it came from Leafed Co. on Etsy. And the last little guy up today is Hoya engleriana. Now, Hoya engleriana is native to Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam, and was first published in 1907 in Notisblatt des Koninklijke Botanischen Gartens und Museum zu Berlin by Carl Kurt Hoseus, and that's the notebook of the Botanical Gardens and Museum of Berlin. And these leaves, I think, are very, very neat. Very pretty. Somewhat reminiscent of the Vacciniioides we saw earlier. They have a recessed central rib. They're very long and lanceolate. And this little kid has done well for being here less than a year. That's, this one vine comes up and goes around and keeps going up. So yeah, I think this is very pretty. The leaves are nice dark green. It hasn't bloomed for me yet, but it's growing really well. So I'm not complaining at all about this one. I think that's really, really pretty. Very, very interesting. And it just, they don't all have to be big and veiny, however much you might wish. Sometimes something well done can be just as beautiful and effective, and something really different too. So yeah, this is really cool. So this has been here for about a year. I didn't jot down where it came from. Oh, but wait, I have my tag here because I'm very good about that. This has been here just a few months, and this came from Hoya Treasure's website. And this is Hoya engleriana. And the rain's still coming down, but it has lightened up a bit. You can probably tell from back over here that it's not quite as dark as it was just a short time ago. So the question for the comments this week is, do you have any of these little leafed Hoyas or other little leafed Hoyas? So tell us about them. And if you don't, would you be interested in finding some? Because I'm having a good time with these. My original motivation was that the little leafed Hoyas would take up less space, but then Obcordata started growing like crazy, and who's going to argue with that? So yeah, leave a note in the comments below and tell us your thoughts or feelings on the little guys. And as always, I want to thank you for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me this week's end. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell. They all help the channel grow. And remember to visit my friends Mona at Plant Therapy 1860 and Dave, Sober Plant Guy, on their channels. A lot of the products that you've seen me use are available through my Amazon storefront. There's a link in the description below. I get a small commission on the sale of items from the storefront, but it doesn't affect your price at all. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can click the link to my Buy Me a Coffee page. It's also in the description. Or you can click on the 3 dots down here, and YouTube handles all of that. As usual, links to a couple more videos over on this side of the screen, and please enjoy the rest of your week's end.